I gotta walk and talk. The way the world is right now is one of those times where I really wish I was smarter than what I am. Really wish I could articulate my anger and fears better. Because right now it's basically just like screaming into the freaking void. Because this Christian fascist movement that's taken a hold of America even stronger than it already was. I just feel like too dumb. One thing I have to ask is, why did it take so many people so long to wake up to what has always been a movement in this country? And I know the answer to that. Because the people just now waking up to this had plenty of privilege before. The people on the left who are white had plenty of privilege before, and they never felt threatened. And now they do. So they're all of a sudden screaming. When in the past, it was always like, things can always get better. Well, other people were telling them things can always get worse, because it's pretty bad right now. And I grew up like hearing the bullshit that a lot of people are finally waking up to about Christian fascists in this country, and how it's led by big money, and how people would either blame politics or they blame big money, when all those two things are the same. The reason why so many people have fought so hard to keep churches from being tax exempt is because why would they want their political movement to be taxed? The reason why people don't want churches to be a pure charity, which means no fucking jets, no fucking huge playgrounds, no fucking anything except for helping your community? Because they're good propaganda on it and has to be paid. So, one of the things I think people also, I think Fox News was the beginning of this. Nah. Even if you want to talk about the modern TV age, freaking all these religious channels. I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and I was talking about how I grew up about this shit. Like I said before, I've seen this shit on religious programs before, how Christians in this country have always pushed this propaganda that American Christians are the chosen people of God now. That anti-Semitic rhetoric was part of the course for every other service I ever went to, every other service I ever seen on TV or anywhere else. It's always been a plan. They always have had that in their mind, that Christian groups in the United States are the chosen people now. And they will use the power that they've obtained. They'll be in this propaganda arm of the American fascist movement to attain what they want. And one of those things they ultimately want is Israel. And when I speak of people just now coming to these conclusions, and they didn't before because of privilege, I'm one of those privileged people. Like I said, and I've said over and over and over again, I grew up in this stuff. But why wasn't I shouting it as much as I should have been? That is here. That was the privilege I used to feel safe and feel protected. That is the privilege that I went to times of feeling, oh, it's gotten bad, or they passed this law or that. We gotta come to that self-resolution of our own privilege before we move forward and help others. Because if the Supreme Court sees decisions now are the only thing making you want to be radicalized against the Christian fascists in this country, just take a breath, look at yourself, and say, this is what a lot of people in America have been going through these attacks. What a lot of people have spent their lives fighting. And maybe I need to acknowledge that to be an ally, a true ally for other people. And then we can get on with the fight. But you gotta admit that. You have to. Because privilege doesn't mean that you've had an easy life. Admitting your privilege only means other people have had it a lot worse, and other people were going through the shit, and they were screaming and warning you forever. And it took you being faced with the same thing to acknowledge that. And you need to fully acknowledge that. That's the reason why now it's hit you home, it's coming to roost in your house. So now you're acknowledging it. That's the only way you become a real ally. Is you have to look at the reasons why now all of a sudden you feel scared. It's the only way we're going to fight. That's the only way we're going to be able to fight together.